sleek, curvy, and that dress I wore on the talent show one time. It's top 10 deadliest dresses in history. Ooh. Number 10, corsets. Hey, what's more lethal than being constricted by a garment that it really is unnecessary unless you really need some support for the chest? I'm sure most ladies are familiar with what a corset is, simply because I too would be afraid of them. They're not fun. Nobody likes being squeezed or chokeslammed like one of the Undertaker's victims. Ooh, no thanks, that guy's scary. The corset was a garment that went under the dress to help squish together everything, tummy, chest, all into the desired look. Trouble is, well, they're tight, they're not comfy, and well, they can actually cause a lot of health issues, especially in warmer climates. Breathing becomes an issue and women have been known to faint. While not a dress itself, yes, I know, but for hundreds of years it did go with every dress, so I say that counts because you couldn't wear a dress without one. Number 9, Muslin Disease. This one is just crazy, man. Okay, let's take a look back at the 18th and 19th century France, where there was a law against the peasant class wearing more than 4 kilograms in weight of clothing. Ooh, what? Thus preventing the lower class from owning higher quality fabrics that were strictly reserved for the rich and wealthy. Ooh, that's scandalous. So, a lot of times women would disregard their undergarments, which that is crazy enough alone. However, what's really crazy is that they would wear muslin dresses, which were often dampened with water before going out to have a light, breezy, and cool outfit to wear in the summer. Plus, it was kind of see-through, so you could kind of see all the curves in all the right places. The trouble is, sometimes these light fabrics were wetted down and worn in less than prime weather conditions, and some people, well, they got really sick. It was actually suspected to be the reason for the 1803 influenza outbreak in Paris. Was it? Maybe. Did it contribute? Probably, but not the main reason. Still though, that's crazy. Number 8, the Hobble Skirt. I'm not gonna come out here and pretend that I know a whole lot about fashion, because, folks, I don't. Heck, if it's plaid, simple, or, well, if it smells clean, I'm probably just gonna wear it. I like my clothes to feel free so I can have movement, so I can do all the crazy antics I do here on this channel. I hate being confined, and I imagine a lot of women feel this way too, so I can just imagine how much fun wearing the Hobble Skirt is. Not a lot of fun. A long skirt that has a more narrow bottom, specifically designed to enable the user's movement because, well, you know, God forbid a woman wants to keep a brisk pace in the summer or something. The crazy part is there's stories of women falling and tripping and getting hurt from the Hobble Skirts, and in extreme cases, even fatal, which maybe we should stop wearing them. We kind of have. Which to me, that just says it all. Rose in 1997's Titanic is actually wearing one where she trips and stumbles. Oh, see, look at that. I made a movie connection there too. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Number 7, Scheele's green. Ever since humans started wearing fabric, we've wanted and found ways to stylize and color. It's what we do. The Romans, oh, how opulent they were. They loved purple. The Egyptians, they loved blue. Folks living in the Victorian era, they loved green. To be specific, a particular shade of green. There was a common color back then called Scheele's green. It was made in the lab by a spooky, scary Swedish guy, Flinga Forga Borgen. That's what they do in the lab. That's what I was told. I don't know. Or make IKEA furniture. This color was used in everything. Dresses, fabric, paint. As the Valley Girls would say, it's totally in. The trouble is, it was comprised of a compound of copper and arsenic. Therefore, it was toxic and it actually caused a lot of harm. It also had links to cancer. The most famous case was Napoleon Bonaparte when he was banished to St. Helena. The walls in his house were painted with the shade of Scheele's green. It might have actually contributed to him passing. He died of stomach cancer, so he passed away of stomach cancer, so it might have contributed. Number 6, pestilence. This could really be any time in history considering how many viruses have gone around in human history, but this was an issue in Victorian times. Cities were growing larger, especially with the Industrial Revolution firing on all cylinders. It must have been a crazy time to be alive. For the rich, they mostly dodged that, but not always. In the case of laundry, well, wealthy people couldn't be bothered to do their own laundry. I mean, they're wealthy, that's what they do. And sometimes would have them washed and taken by launderers who washed their clothes with the rest of the city. Being that the clothes were washed with the rest of the clothes, or washed by those in poor areas, there was a lot of sickness going around at the time, and, well, they're contagious. A lot of times the illnesses would cling to fabrics, and when given back to their customers could very well come down with whatever London was feeling at the time. It doesn't sound like a lot of fun because it wasn't a lot of fun. It's kind of like the silent undoer. Not good. Yeah, gross. So you put on your dress, next thing you know, you're in bed for 3 weeks and you croak. Number 5, Beetle dresses. There's been a lot of crazy dresses in history. I mean, Lady Gaga alone would be the whole list at this rate. The meat dress was insane in my opinion. Can you imagine wearing a whole meat dress? How bad that would smell after an hour in the hot California sun? Ooh, no thanks. Plus, not to mention all the other weird and wacky things celebrities have worn. There's just too many to mention. I'm here all day. Well, what if I told you a dress from the past rivals some of our modern craziness? Hard to believe. There was a trend in the 19th century to sew beetle carapaces right into their dresses. That's the hard stuff on the bugs and the vertebrae and all that gross stuff. Ooh, gross things. Similar to how women of ancient Egypt would crush the colorful bugs up to make a makeup, these were sewn into the dresses to make some sort of weird, freaky, colorful embroidery. And to be fair, it looks good, but I'll pass. What are you wearing tonight? I'm wearing the cockroaches I found in my basement. Oh, yes. Gross. Number 4, crinoline. Crinoline is an underskirt frame made from tough horsehair to form an almost bell-shaped cage that will go underneath the dress in order to give the wearer a much fuller and royal look. You've seen them before, you know, those big cages. You've seen them. Now, besides the fact that you're literally walking around in a cage, which I honestly can't think of a better metaphor for women in the 18th and 19th centuries to break free from, but there's one main issue that I cannot get over. You're going to get in the way of stuff. That's just how it's gonna happen. Trying to get into doorways, carriages, really anything would be difficult when you've got a lot of extra hip there. It's not cool. Also, not to mention, the fabric may get caught in something such as machinery, which, as some stories tell us, may have actually happened and could possibly have been fatal, which that's not a good way to go. There's good ways to go, that's not one of them. Talk to the chief, not it. Number 3, aniline dye. The year was 1856 and life was great, or not so great depending on who you ask. If you ask a rich guy, it was probably good. A poor guy, probably not. There was lots of illnesses to be had and lots of folks had siblings who perished young from being ill. Everyone's got a story like, my sister, right, she never made it, but she never made it, she's not here anymore. Anyway, William Henry Perkin was a man on a mission to cure as many illnesses as he could. Many imperial soldiers were feeling a lot of those illnesses at the time, specifically malaria. He was trying to create an anti-malaria drug using aniline. Well, he did not find a cure for malaria, but he did discover it makes a very lovely dye. So, task failed successfully, I guess. It was a dye that makes deep reds, purples, and even black. Ooh, naturally this picked up a lot of steam. Or paint roller, I guess, because dye, funny color. Ha, good joke. Anyway, and it began to be used in everything from socks to shoe polish. The trouble is, once people got enough exposure to clothing with aniline dye, their skin would go red, itchy, and severely inflamed, and was known for causing really bad headaches. That's because it would absorb through their skin and their bloodstream and poison their blood. That's bad. That's not good. We don't like that here. Sure, there's bad outfits out there, but blood poisoning? Yeesh. Ugh, no thanks. Number 2, cellulose nitrate. You take some nitric acid, you take some sulfuric acid, you mix it together and run it through some flammable material or a medium such as cotton, and bada bing, bada boom, literally you got yourself some cellulose nitrate. The process was commonly done on clothes back in the late 19th century, which is just an awful idea. Some people might think it's because you're wearing volatile compounds, which is very true. That's very true. But imagine a warehouse full of garments treated with this stuff. Uh-oh, not good. Especially considering how unstable it is. Chemistry fans will agree with me when I say while it's different, it's actually very similar to nitroglycerin, which was used to detonate large rocks and pathways when the railroads were being built across the nations. Canada and the US, of course, I'm talking about. It wasn't good. A lot of people got hurt in that one. Wasn't good. Number 1, the revenge dress. We've talked about a lot of naughty stuff on this list and on this channel, so it's time for some levity. What's the deadliest dress out there? Well, that would have to be Princess Diana's revenge dress. Ooh. Worn by Princess Diana after her husband Prince Charles publicly admitted to an affair. What? Scandalous. Which for royals is a big no-no. You kinda can't really do anything without the media noticing. This dress is also lethal because, well, there's a good chance Diana maybe kind of was done in by the royal family a couple years after she wore the dress. It wasn't too long after that. Plus, if it's called the revenge dress, I mean, come on, she was out for revenge. She was out for the blood. That counts, sure. A little bit of fun. Okay, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for me today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe here at Bumblebee for more. If you too want to see me in a revenge dress, then check out my socials somewhere down below. Come on, click, give me a follow. Give me a, yeah, we love that. Give me a follow. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you soon. Stay sweet, my little honeybees.